Ni hao ma. Oh, now. Welcome everyone to Hexagon Live here in Hong Kong. And this is the first time ever we host a Hexagon Live in Asia Pacific. And we're really proud and grateful that we have 3,500 attendees here tonight. So, che. Shape conveys form. Shape basically is the description of the external form of someone or something. And we all know how important form is. For example, sometimes they can go quite wrong. But sometimes forms can be attention-grabbing. Some of you might have stayed in this hotel. It's not a stranded ship. It's actually a hotel in South Korea. And sometimes forms can be far-reaching. So in Chongqing, we have this bridge, which is an arch bridge. As you might know, arch bridges were designed some 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 years ago because they can hold a lot of weight. And this arch bridge has reduced the time it takes to travel from one side of the river to the other, from 2 hours to 5 minutes. But let's talk about us for a while, us sitting here in this auditorium, because you are unique. Living right now, at this very moment in time, you're going to see more changes than any generation before you. And the patterns of change that are shaping our world are so powerful and so fundamental that we need to take a look at them. Some of these drivers are mega drivers. We all talk about population growth, resource scarcity, infrastructure development, and here in China you've done more infrastructure development than any other country in a very short period of time. Urbanization. This is the first time ever in mankind when more people live in cities than on the countryside. Climate changes. We discuss the melting of the polar caps and what we can do about it. Flooded coastal areas and so on. But then we have some positive drivers as well. The rise of the middle class. More than 1 billion people have risen from poverty into joining the global middle class over the past 10 years. So we got technology drivers to take care of as well. Go back 25 years in time. Can you remember a life without a smartphone? How many have a smartphone here tonight? Oh yeah. Well, in 2 years' time, half the world's population are going to have access to a smartphone. And think of how this has changed your life. From meeting up with a friend somewhere, now you call them to see where they are. You just don't have to wait for them if they're late. You can book meetings, you can browse the internet, you can check stocks, you can surf social pages and chat, and so on. Then we have another technology trend, and that is the automation of everything. This is the age of context. Machines recognizing and responding to the environment beyond human capabilities. And there is a belief that 1 in 3 jobs will be converted into software, robots, and smart machines by 2025, 20 years from now. Should we be worried about this? Is this a concern for you sitting here? No, I don't believe so, because I think we will find new jobs. We will kill the old, boring jobs, and we will find new, better jobs that people can do. Finally, connectivity of everything. You are probably all connected sitting here tonight. You all have your smartphone, you're connected to the internet, you can see what's going on. Well, in the next 5 years, more and more things are going to be connected in your homes and so on. Your coffee machine, even your bed or your toothbrush. Maybe your toothbrush is connected to your dentist, and he can check if you're doing the proper brushing or not. So the patterns of change are everywhere, and they shape our world. And sometimes you really have to step back and say, this is so powerful that it's overwhelming. Can I take in all this change? But the silver lining is, the future is here for you and us to shape. We are not helpless. The simple thing we need to do is we need to define what is and what should be. And there is a gap between what is today and what should be tomorrow. And this gap is the change we need to master. And if we look at that, we believe that we can narrow that gap using our technologies. So you and us together can actually bridge this gap and move the world forward into something better. And that's what we're going to discuss here this afternoon. Now, narrowing the gap is really about cultivating innovation. How do you drive innovation? How do you create new things? What is the formula? Well, if we are to listen to Albert Einstein, he once said, imagination is more important than knowledge. You can't really develop anything with just knowledge. Imagination is the more important one. Well, we believe shaping smart change is really a feedback loop. So you can't just rely on knowledge or imagination. You need the two to work hand in hand. And it's a seamless loop of development.